Alex, do you want canned cranberry sauce or should we make it ourselves?
That's my mom. She didn't know about Instacart's family carts, so...
Want to make pecan pie this year, yes or no? Oh, and how many boxes of stuffing?
So I told her we could just share a family cart and add all our holiday favorites to the same order without losing our voices or our sanity. It's so much fun.
Alex, can you get my holiday village out of the attic?
Baby steps, Alex. Baby steps. Shop Instacart this holiday season and enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
Alex?
Big shout out to the sponsor, Helix Sleep. Thank you guys so much for providing the perfect mattress for us baby gorgi. I went to helixsleep.com/wild and I found the Perfy Worthy mattress. Thank you. I'm sleeping like a baby.
Yes. If the pandemic's got you down, COVID's got you down, get the right message to be comfy wumpy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Patreon members only episode where we have a guest, and he's a cute fucking kid. I'm Chris Stefano, of course, a.k.a. Chris the Nazi. With me, as always, Hyenas Pappas, a.k.a. Special Needs Stamos. And then today, our guest is Joe Schindler's List.
All right. Oh, I was ready for you to be hurt. I thought it was going to be a hurtful nickname.
No, Joe List, everybody. Joey Cobblestone Throat.
That was really nice that you took a clip actually from Schindler's List. That was clever how you did that.
Of course, yeah.
That was the last scene in the movie.
Yeah.
They all go
Just
crazy.
a big applause break.
How's your throat, Bubbas?
It's bad.
Yeah, so Joey's
Fuck
got...
your throat. How's your herpes doing?
That's fine. I got that under order. I feel like I have herpes of the throat right now.
I guess when you have herpes, your mission in life is to just be relaxed for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you got to try to stay cool. But here's the thing that's amazing about herpes is Valtrex. That's like a miracle drug. Yeah. If I have like an itchy ball, I take a Valtrex and nothing doing. It just zooms right through.
Right.
For like a day, you're kind of like, oh, I got a red patch on my cock. But Valtrex can crush it. Where if no Valtrex, it's like 3 weeks of just a nightmare.
Here's the silver lining of having herpes. The silver lining of having herpes is like you have to seek peace and stay away from anxiety. So you like, because that's what brings on the outbreaks.
That can, yeah.
So you've probably learned how to be more at peace.
I'm trying
to try to avoid the herpes.
A little bit. I'm
when
trying.
Things get intense. You're like, I'm going to leave the room, guys.
Yeah.
Because this is going to have a lot worse consequences for me than you.
Well, that's the thing. Once you get herpes, so I tell people that get herpes, once you get it, you don't have to worry about it anymore because you have it.
Yeah.
So almost immediately when I got it, I was like, oh, whatever.
You were relieved in a way.
Yeah. Not relieved, but you're definitely like, well, that's one less thing to worry about.
Yeah. Right, because it's there already. It happened.
Yeah, I have it, and you can't. The past is.
But the cobblestone throat sucks.
It sucks.
Why don't we get some medication? What can we do?
I'm taking PPIs.
Okay.
Penis pump inhibitors, whatever it's called. Prilosec.
And it's not working.
That's not really working, but I've read that actually helps more with like regular acid reflux and not the silent reflux.
So what can we help you with silent reflux?
It's all diet. You got to fucking...
There's no medicine. It's just diet.
Well, there's a surgery you can have, but I'm not looking to have a surgery. And then there's some Prilosec and shit kind of can help, but they say like half the people don't find that helpful.
What happens? You just have acid reflux a lot?
Instead of... Normal acid reflux goes to like the chest. You have like heartburn. This skips that. That's why they call it silent. You don't know what's going on. But I have it looks like gooey cum just dripping down the back of my throat. It feels almost like post-nasal drip.
I probably have that too because I just can't swallow.
Well, Giannis
that's
just
what
can't
it's like.
swallow. Yeah.
That's what it's like. If you have trouble swallowing, it feels like something stuck in your throat.
But do you have a sore throat right now when you swallow? Does it hurt? Or
it doesn't hurt, but I can feel shit in my throat. You can actually see it. You can actually look back there and just see
feel it.
It looks like cum.
But you know what? You know what?
Back of Chrissy's throat looks like that when he's in Houston.
When I'm Houston, I suck the guy's dick in Houston. It's what it is. The
is that
fans
true?
know. No, but we just say it.
We have
I got to move to Houston.
I got a friend though, a comic that I know who sucks a lot of dick, and he got gonorrhea in his throat, and that's a nightmare.
That's gotta.
Yeah, he showed me. I saw active gonorrhea in a man's throat, and it looked wild.
Yeah. Well, let's give him proper info. Joe List, one of the funniest comedians on the planet. One of my favorite people, funniest people.
Yeah.
Also, this is Patreon only for 4 weeks because you're Chrissy Blackouts, and then it goes to everybody.
Right.
So this is first class. This is for the friendly skies of Bay Ridge for a month.
Yeah.
You get Joe List, and then all the fucking toots who listen for free, you're listening to this right now 4 weeks later. Joe List might be dead right now.
I know.
All of us might be dead.
I'm hoping it's cured by then. You got to go. Here's what I realized, though. I've been trying to fix the diet, right the ship, because everything that causes it is 100% of what I eat. It's like tomato-based, marinara sauce, spicy. So I go to Chipotle, I get extra hot sauce. I eat that 4 times a week. I get a large pizza, extra sauce. I get spaghetti, chicken parm, extra sauce, plus Coke. I was having 3 or 4 Cokes a day.
Cocaine will not. Oh, okay.
Coca-Cola,
Yeah,
which I think is just as bad.
Yeah.
Fidel Castro's favorite soda.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Wow.
Now listen, let's just tell the story. Joe List got herpes in one of the most Boston ways you've ever heard.
Yeah, he's a Boston kid.
I mean, he's a
By the
fucking-
way, because that's what the episode's going to be about. It's New York versus Boston. It's Sox versus Yanks
Yeah,
on
it's
this
fucking
podcast
the history
today.
of fucking Boston versus fucking Yankees. And let's just be crystal clear about something. Joe List is an Irish fucking kid from Boston.
Yeah, Joe.
Which means there's alcoholism in his fucking history.
Yes, and
Joe
my
Law-
own personal.
Yeah.
Joe List is Boston white trash like I'm New York white trash.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's just an Irish kid who doesn't have doesn't have an affectionate relationship with his father.
Yeah, no.
Like all Irish
Let's be
kids.
honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
When Joe told his dad he was doing comedy, he went home to his wife, Joe's mom,
He got called a faggot.
whose name has got to be Maureen, and he said, "Listen, you turned Joey into a fag. He's doing comedy in New York."
His father was, listen, I didn't fucking raise my kid to be no fucking fag.
But
There's
my
some
dad's
kind of
less than
fucking
that.
homo.
He said less than that. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
People think I'm like
Your dad's
kidding.
dead inside.
My dad, well, I think he's a sweet guy, but it's just very Irish, Catholic, Boston. There's no communication.
Yeah.
Like people think I know he doesn't talk, but like, what did he say after you did Letterman? And I'm like, no, nothing. They're like, I know nothing, but like, what did he say?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm telling you, he said 0 things.
No words.
He walked in the back and didn't say anything. He didn't even say like, hello.
He just.
Your dad,
Nothing.
Your dad's like a stereotypical Irish Boston guy. I picture him walking in after set and you going like, hey, Dad, how'd you like the Letterman set? He goes, fucking Sox are pretty good this year.
It's similar to that. When he picks me up, I won't see him for 4 months. He'll pick me up at the train station. We'll talk about the Patriots or the Sox for 15 minutes, and when that ends, that's a wrap.
It's
That's
just
the end.
silent.
We just sit there. My mother brings a book when they go to Maine on vacation every year. She brings a book. She sits and reads a book.
Yeah, because he doesn't talk.
He won't say anything.
Because Irish kids from Boston,
They're funny.
They can't.
Let me ask
the
you-
way they handle their emotions is through sports.
Do you think, Joey, because I'm a Catholic kid, do you think it was potential because your father grew up in the 50s, 60s, he got cracked open and cleaned out by an Irish Boston priest?
I think
You think he got cleaned out?
He got. I don't think
So he got a
so.
little cobblestone throat by fucking Father Bill?
Yeah.
I don't think so,
what
but
it
he got.
is.
I know he got hit by the nurses, the sisters. They would hit him with a ruler because I know he acted up a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they gave him a good beating. I don't know if anyone fucked him in the ass. That might have made him squeal a little
That'll
more. He
make
might
it
have
tough.
chatted.
Yeah, that'll make it tough to hug your son.
Yeah,
that
but
Does your
makes
dad
it
have a
weird,
big
yeah.
piece? We talk about our fathers have very little penises.
I think here's the thing.
ever
I remember
see it?
thinking he had a big cock because we'd go to Fenway and there's the troughs, but I was 6,
Right.
so it might have just been a regular cock,
Right,
and I
right.
had a fucking thimble.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't. It's hard to say.
Irish, Boston. Who's funnier than the Boston Irish?
First of
it's
all-
really hard to find somebody funnier than a Boston Irish person.
Here's the truth of the situation.
Yeah.
The truth of the situation is in comedy, only 2 cities really matter. Like there's a lot of funny guys who come out from other areas, but when you come to volume
Yeah.
and quality, Boston and New York
Yeah.
are the 2 cities because they're northeast quarter cities, working class cities with these ethnic groups.
Yeah.
And they have that ball busting culture.
And we have a romanticized, accent and way of life. It's like
Yeah.
Chicago's close, but it's not New York or Boston
No.
when it comes to comedy.
Not with stand up. Most cities you can name like a few, 2, 3, maybe 4. But Boston and New York, there's like
Endless.
I mean, New York, there's so
Chicago's
many.
good at sketch. They're
Yeah,
good
yeah.
at the SNL
Well, I would
stuff.
argue just Boston as well, although there's more from New York. But Boston's such a smaller city. Based on how small it is, the sheer amount of them is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the percentage is way higher for Boston.
Yeah,
Crazy,
my
yeah.
all-time favorite comics are all Boston. Bill Burr, Nick DiPaolo, Patrice O'Neill, Louis C.K.,
Yeah, those are Stanhope's from Boston. Rogan's from Boston.
Jay Leno,
Jay Leno.
Stephen
from
Wright.
Boston. Stephen Wright.
All
Dane Cook. Did
Boston.
we say Dane Cook?
Dane
Dane Cook.
Bobby
Kelly.
Kelly. Joe List.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean,
fucking
there's more too.
Sam J.
Sam Jay's from there.
Yes.
Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah, you
I
said it
Oh, you
already.
said Patrice.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
Who else? There's
Who
a lot
else?
more.
Dwayne Perkins.
Dwayne Perkins, fucking
Bobcat Galworth from there.
Goldwaith.
But
Yeah.
he's from upstate originally, but he started there, I think.
Yeah.
Or moved there to start there. Kevin Meaney went up there, was there for a while. There's all those guys that aren't from there, but like Mark Maron, Greg Fitzsimmons, that have like roots there that started there because they went going to school.
So when you
I'd
got
like to punch Mark Maron right in the face. If I could just get one clean shot at somebody, I think it'd be him.
Why?
But I also want to do is he just has that face, like that look where I'm like, stop with your whiny fucking shit before I throw your head through the wall, like that. But he's a good comic, and I gotta respect him. But I'd like to tune him up.
Now, do you ever feel that way when I come in with my cobblestone throat? I got herpes. I'm complaining. Do you want to beat the shit out of me?
It's a different thing. No, because you're still a tough guy. I know you probably talk about sports. You know, like, Mark wants to. I don't know. I don't even know the guy. But one time I was around him on Opie and Anthony. I didn't say anything, and I was like, and it was a good joke, and he did all the talking, and I was like, I'm sorry I didn't say anything. It was better that way. It's a good joke.
You say he felt like a little self-indulgent to you?
Yeah, a little bit. I remember thinking in that Opie and Anthony studio, like when he said that, it was a great joke, and he was a great guest, but when he said it to me, just like the Ridgewood got in me, and I almost picked him up and threw him in a garbage can. That's like what I thought about. But I didn't do anything. I just put my hands in my pocket.
I have a similar thing like that with him. I always didn't want to fight him, but because I'm not a fucking animal.
No, I don't want to fight him either. I'm just being aggressive. I'll tuck my dick back. I'm a pussy. But I love cock.
We were at the table one time here at the Cellar, and there was like 7 of us hanging. He was there, but he's never there.
Right.
And I didn't know. And I was sitting there, everyone was just kind of quiet. It was kind of like a whatever.
Right.
And I go, boy, they really make it seem like this is going to be a lot more fun when you hear about it. And then he went, maybe it's you. And it was hard because I wanted to say, it's funny, but I wanted to be like, well, it's most definitely you. Like if we're taking jokes away.
Yeah.
In reality, it's 100%. Everyone's uncomfortable because you're here, because you're kind of famous in our mind.
Right.
Now he's famous.
No, now he's for real famous. For sure, Mark.
But he's always been like someone we all knew.
He's comedy fame. He's like, and he's only specific group. Mark. I wouldn't say Mark.
He can move tickets, Mark Maron.
He moves tickets.
That kid moves tickets.
But I wouldn't say he's famous.
He's not moving tickets like Hitler, but he's moving tickets.
He's not Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's moving tickets like Hitler.
Yeah.
Well, I always use my parents as a barometer. Would they know this person? I feel like they would be like, oh, I think I heard he's got. Yeah, I don't know.
And that looks like every other. That would be your mom's.
That would be my mom speaking for my dad.
Your dad would go, yeah, fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Mark Maron looks like every other nerd lesbian.
Yeah. I mean, why'd you wanted to put him in a? I mean, big deal. You wanted to put him in a garbage can.
No, but I
backed away from that.
I felt bad because it was the same thing that happened with Joe. He's had this little
joke,
to put him in
a garbage?
And it just was a funny joke, and it just made me angry.
Yeah,
because I knew. You know why it made me angry? Because I knew. You know what pisses me off? We've talked about this before. It was coming from an insecure place with him, and that just makes me mad. I want to shake him and be like, "Stop being such an insecure little bitch.
Yeah,
stop being a little fucking bitch.
Yeah, steel pipe Chrissy.
Yeah. I just get mad but the reaon why I get mad is because the truth of the situation is I'm an insecure little bitch.
Yeah,
that's why.
But you're not though.
That's why P's sitting down.
I like his podcast. I'm late to the podcast. I just started listening to it. It's been out for like 10 years.
WTF?
Yeah, and here's why. Because I'm getting old and I have a shoulder problem. I didn't hurt myself. My shoulder's just sore for 5 months, so I can't bring my backpack with books in it.
Right.
So I started listening.
Why don't we cheers our
Look at
rings?
that.
Look at
Boom.
that. 2 fucking married kids.
Why don't you get married, Chris? Why don't you settle down?
I mean, I got my kid, so I'm definitely locked up.
Yeah.
Gross.
He's got a Ridgewood family.
I got a Ridgewood family.
Or more of a Sunset. It's more of a Sunset Park.
Sunset
family.
Park family. I got a baby's mama, which is good enough for us.
There should be a ring for when you have a kid.
Yeah.
Like you have a wedding band, lets people know. You should have to have like a thumb ring for your kid.
Yeah, because the kid is more permanent, but it's just less. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe a tattoo. Like when you do the amount you have, you just put them in Roman numerals.
Yeah.
You
have a little...
got 4 Catholic kids. Fucking whole body looks like Memento after I'm done.
Joe's got good hair too.
Yo, Joe.
Oh, phenomenal.
Joe is a fucking Boston kid. And back to the herpes story. His herpes.
It's a 10 out of 10 story.
It's a Boston story.
That and his Seattle story.
Yeah. When Bobby Kelly the Seattle story is it's one of those stories that you can tell 4th person. Like, in other words, I could tell it to somebody, that person could tell it to somebody else, and then that person could use it as a story from some kid they don't even know, and it's a funny story.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if Joe will tell it at some point.
Yeah.
If he wants to, because our fans need to know.
We need to know that story. But let's start with the herpes story because it's a Boston fucking story.
Well, I got herpes. I mean, I fucked a person that said they had herpes. Yeah, I was drinking, of course.
You're sober now, but used to move the vegetables, as we say. Used to crack open a few brews.
I loved drinking. I drank day drank, night drank. I loved it.
Joey moved the vegetables, and where Move the Vegetables comes from is my mom used to hide the beers, because she's an Irish Catholic woman, used to hide the beers underneath the vegetables in the refrigerator because she
Oh,
knows I
okay.
hated vegetables, so I never find the beer because I'm not looking for veggies. So that's when we say instead of drinking beers, now we say move the vegetables.
Oh,
When you
nice.
move her
I like
vegetables,
it.
there's just a fucking
There's beer.
bunch
So
of...
you were moving the vegetables.
I thought it was about shitting everything in your insides into somebody's shoe. That's what I thought you meant.
which is what happened. But the herpes story is great, I love, because she told you.
Yeah. So I was
She
having
told
some.
you.
I wasn't hammered on that one. I was just a lonely guy that never got laid. But it was a girl I had a thing for. Like I had a crush. We went to the New York Film Academy together, and I was like really into her. She was like a cool movie chick. She was like covered in tattoos. She had like naked chicks on her. She like pinup girls.
Right.
So she had like naked pinup girls on her back, which was hot. But she had a boyfriend at the time. But we were like best buds, you know.
Right.
And so it never worked out because she had a boyfriend. But then later we met up and like went on a kind of a date. We both ended up single at the same time. We went and saw some horseshit movie. But she was staying with her parents in Connecticut. And she wanted to hook up, but she was like, we can't hook up in my parents' house. So first she was like, we went for a drive. We tried to do it in the car, but it was too small. It was like a Dodge Neon, my
Right.
dad's.
Right.
And
yeah.
then we
Kind
went.
of fucked up of her that she didn't tell you before. She waited till things were hot and heavy, right?
Yeah, well, she still told me. She could have
did.
not told me at all.
Yeah.
So then we were outside a cemetery, and she's like, let's go fuck in the cemetery.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't want to fuck in a cemetery.
Catholic
it's
guilt?
creepy.
Right.
No, it's not even that. And I don't believe in goat, but I feel like a spirit's gonna fucking stick its finger in my ass or
Yeah.
something. It
You
feels
would- no,
weird to fuck in a cemetery.
A spear would have attached yourself to to the herpes.
Yeah, it
sure.
just felt like too much. And then we saw a playground, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll go to the playground. Now, this gal is a little gal. She's like 2 inches from being little person status.
Right.
She's like 4'10" or something.
She's a suicide girl, tattoos everywhere.
yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
hot, though. That's
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah,
Tattoos everywhere.
She's a Novicki, yeah.
Yeah.
She's super cool. We were into like film. We were film nerd. You know,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
So we went to the playground, and then we started making out and stuff. But I realized from any distance, it looks like I'm fucking a child because she's half my size.
Yeah.
It's a shadow, and we're on a playground. Like it looks like I'm fucking a kid.
Yeah.
And so I got really in my head about that. She's like, "You have to. I'm not a kid. If they'll come over here," and I'm like, "But what if they shoot me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm on top. They could just fucking pink mist my fucking forehead." And but whatever. So we were fooling around, and she got naked, great bod, the whole thing. And like, keep in mind, this isn't something. I was like in love with this girl.
Right.
So then, right
You're
before,
outdoors.
Yes, we were outdoors. Right before we fucked, she was like, "Time out." She did like a timeout sign, like fucking,
Right.
a coach. And then she was like, "Time out." And I was like, "All right, what's up?" And she's like, "I have to let you know I have herpes."
That puts you in a tough situation.
And
Were
she's
you
like,
still rock hard at this point?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like, we're naked. Like, my cock is a half an inch
From
away,
her puss.
a limp cock away from her
Right.
penis.
yeah.
I mean, her vagina. Whoops.
It's
Freud. Whatever she had, it was
Yeah.
close to it.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Yeah, I have herpes," and she's like, "I've had sex with 2 guys. They didn't get it. I don't have an outbreak right now. I take the thing," and I was like, "All right, well, whatever." She could have told me she had a fucking, bonsai trap in her pussy. I didn't
You were
even care.
going.
She
Yeah,
could
yeah.
have
I
told
was
you
like,
she had full blown AIDS.
yeah, thorn bush, whatever. I
You
was
were
like,
gonna fuck her.
yeah, I'm
She's
like, I'm
like, this is a
fucking.
small little thing. Look, I want to do this, but as soon as penis is going to my vaginas, it eats them. And Joe would be like, all right, fair deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll get
let's just do
another
it.
dick or whatever. I'm into it. Why are you touching your dick? It's making me uncomfortable.
I know. What are you doing?
Chris is
talking
fully
about-
lying down, rubbing his cock.
You're talking about sex, so I'm getting horned up.
Cuz what the fuck are you doing?
Cuz-
Cuz what are you doing?
Just tell the story.
Why are you getting a little horned up because you're in sweats?
Dude,
Yeah.
your posture's bothering
Yeah,
me. You're
what are you
fucking
doing?
Inverted.
Cuz? Yeah.
All right, I'll sit
You
up.
look like you're gonna suck your own dick in a second.
I will.
Can we just take a second to appreciate how fucking stupid guys are when they're horned up?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, your life, case one. B, this kid's got herpes.
Yeah.
I mean, when kids get fucking horned up, they just make bad decisions.
Oh,
Yeah.
especially in your 20s or whatever. Because I was just talking about that. My sex drive has gone down. Like I just went 3 days. My wife was away. I just went 3 days without jerking off, without
Wow.
even realizing
Wow.
it. I was just I'm obsessing over my silent reflex. Also,
Now you
I'm a
might
fucking
get, you
nut.
might get into
Yeah,
Catholic heaven
my
again.
whole shit's been fucked up recently too. I haven't been that horned up, and now when I jerk off, I start coming. Like cum starts coming out of my dick way before it used to.
Oh, weird.
Like you know what I mean? Like 3 or 4 seconds before I'm gonna come, cum's coming out. It's
Oh, it's
weird.
just spilling over the
It's
top.
spilling over the. It's strange. I don't know what it is.
Well, you got a big gland. You got an overactive.
Yeah, but it's like I've had it for a long time.
Well, it takes me 45 minutes to jerk off now because I start looking at Twitter and I'm watching the news and I send
Right.
out a tweet and I don't you find you run out of fantasy. Like I've come 5,000 times in my life.
Yeah, it's like Hyenas says, even in like entertainment, like everything's been done.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just there's no new tricks
Well,
anymore.
that's when you start pushing it to the limit.
You
With
push to the limit. You get a
push
lady
to the
boy,
limit, yeah.
like Brody Stevens.
Brody Stevens calls pushing it to the limit. Did you ever see that clip where he goes, I went to Thailand, I explored the ladyboy culture, I pushed it to the limit.
All right, so what happened? Okay, so she tells you got the herpes.
So I was like, all right, that's fine. I think it's fine. I don't care. But the problem is, I was like, I need to get laid. But my mental, if I could have, this is what I'm in therapy for. My therapist always tells me, if I could have accepted my decision and been like, I'm fucking, and if I get herpes, that's fine. But I didn't. I said, all right, I don't care. But then as soon as I started fucking her, I was like, was this worth it? Should I be doing this? So I didn't even enjoy the
And as
sex.
soon as you came, you really regretted it.
Yeah, as soon as you finish, you're like, oh, fuck, what am I doing? That was
And
stupid.
then was
I
it
just felt
instant
dumb.
anxiety when it was done? Like anxiety through the roof?
It was instant anxiety as soon as I went in there. I was obsessed about it.
Yeah.
And
How long did you fuck her for, would you say, give or take, roughly?
8 minutes, 10 minutes.
Right. But you
know?
eventually came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 to 10 minutes in the public like that is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so it worked out, but I was really into it. But then immediately I was just Googling herpes. How do you find out if you have herpes? And
Yeah, worst fear came
It's
true.
like Giannis says 2 to 23.
you do the crime, do the time.
You do the time, 2 to 23 days, symptoms will pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do
So
this,
how soon after did the symptoms pop
well,
up?
here's the thing, though.
Yeah, tell us.
So this is what's interesting about it, is that I might not have gotten it from her because I didn't have any symptoms for about 6 months.
It could have been
Really?
somebody else.
And then
Oh shit.
I was fucking a different person then.
A couple guys.
So I threw a couple guys in, yeah.
Sure.
He looked like Nomar. I had to. There was a couple guys. So, I mean, a couple. Boy, you got me saying it now.
Freud again.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking gay person.
Oh,
Let's
same.
just coming out there.
We're all gay in Houston.
Yeah.
So anyways, so then I was fucking another girl, and that's
Raw
when the
Deezy.
outbreak started happening. Yes. So
And how
it
long
might
were
have
you
been from
fucking
that
her?
woman. I was a little bit.
Right, but you were and she did not have herpes though, she said.
Not that I know of, but I think later she might have.
So what
I
happened?
don't know.
What happened with the outbreak? You woke up one day and it was there, or what? Did something happen during the day? What happened?
Yeah,
Wait a
I
second.
went.
Wait a second. Let me get this straight. So this you fucked another girl, and so 6 months later you fucked another girl.
Yes.
And the outbreak happened after you fucked the second girl.
Yes. But it might have just flared up because the friction that happens sometimes.
Right.
So I might have gotten it from either one of them.
Did the second one say she had it or no?
No.
So she said, "I don't have it." You asked, did you
God,
ask
I
her
don't even
afterward?
remember now. Yeah, I think afterwards, and I think she said no.
So you got it from the first one. Yeah, it just didn't flare up.
It sounds like
Yeah.
it. But it was on Christmas Eve.
Holy shit! Merry
I
Christmas.
woke up on Christmas Eve, and I got the gift that keeps on giving. But it was brutal because at the time I was a wild alcoholic too. So I was drinking at a mass amount. So fucking up your immune system, you're just a mess.
Yeah.
So I got all fucked up, and the outbreak I had, it felt like cigarettes being put out on your dick, and it was covered.
And this was
It was
Christmas
all
Eve.
open source. Christmas Eve,
So-
and I didn't know what was going on. So I thought,
So you woke up that morning though with cigarette burns.
yeah,
Okay, you
And
had
I
no
thought
symptoms the
maybe-
night before. Nothing.
right. I
Yeah.
thought maybe it was razor burn because she had like a shaved pussy, but then I was like, that doesn't make sense. It's all over the shaft of my dick.
And it was red source.
Yeah, it was red and like itchy and a bummer because it hadn't like opened yet, so it was just like red and itchy. And then I started putting like fucking moisturizer on because I thought maybe it was dry and like so I was like putting ointment shit and just like
But
Vaseline.
it bothered you the whole Christmas Eve and Christmas. Like you couldn't not
no,
think
no,
about
for
it.
like 2.5 weeks.
Like it was constantly a pain.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
what you're about to find out. Joe, to be honest with you, I remember when Joe told me the story. We were in a car. There was like 3 or 4 of us. After he told me this story, I got into a relationship immediately.
Right.
I think at the time I was banging like 4 or 5 people. You know, my ex-girlfriend, who's being one of them, May, at that time.
Yeah.
And I just picked one and got into a relationship because I was like, fuck that. Let him explain to you what it felt like.
it's bad news bears. It sucks. I would if it happened only once and wasn't permanent, I wouldn't want anyone to get it.
Right.
Again, I was drinking and I didn't have money to get medicine and stuff. Now, if I had Valtrex, that would have helped. But I went and it felt like they were open sores and they would kind of heal over and then break off again. So you had like literally open, bleeding, oozing sores on your cock. So you had to like
Everywhere.
so it's basically
Yeah.
the way a canker sore feels on your
yeah,
penis.
exactly, but a bunch.
So if it touched your jeans when you were walking,
Yes.
it felt like that?
Yeah, so I would have to wear as soon as I got home, I would rip off my jeans and put on like sweatpants and just sit with my legs open.
Holy shit.
In the road doing podcasts because I was here doing Bobby's show. It would just be like brutal. You have to pull and try to peel, and I would go to the bathroom all the time just to like air out my dick.
Were your glands swollen too and everything?
Oh, I had huge lymph nodes. Yeah, my lymph nodes were like out to here. That's when I was like, something's up because the ones in my
Groin.
Whatever, the groin, yeah.
They were swollen
all,
too.
like, bulging. Yeah, I had like a sore throat. They were like bulging out here. My whole body was like, we're getting attacked. Something fucking crazy's going on here. It was horrible. And it went on for weeks. It would, because they kept
In
healing.
that pain for weeks.
Yes.
With no medication.
Yeah, they kept healing and breaking off. And then I went to the free clinic in Chelsea, and I remember the woman was like a Russian doctor, and she was trying to test. So she was like scraping with like a dental fucking scraping thing in my open wounds, and she called me a baby. She's like, "What is it? You baby, you baby."
Yeah, they're not known for
And so
being soft talkers.
she couldn't
No.
tell off. She could probably knew off.
I
sight.
pretty much knew once I fucking because for a while I didn't know what was going on. I was googling everything, but then it was like after a while you're like, "This is 100% herpes."
Right.
And so she was scraping. Then she gave me like a few pills.
Did that
Which-
help immediately?
It helped a little, but I was so far in it. Valtrex helps most if you're taking it every day and you're suppressing it. You won't get an outbreak, or you could take it at the first sign of an outbreak. Which, if you know you have it, you're like, oh, I feel a little itch. Oh, you'll get in the water in the shower, and you're like, oh, that was weird. And then you can kind of almost skip an outbreak.
my girlfriend, because my girlfriend it's the same thing on your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's like she takes the Valtrex when she feels it coming on.
Yeah.
The thing is, the reason why it's so contagious is you can get it when the other person's shedding. They say
Right.
So the person doesn't have to be having, like, that girl probably wasn't having an outbreak. She probably
Right.
was just shedding.
Yeah, which happens, which is still actually relatively rare, because I think you're only, I forget the numbers now, it's been so long, but you're only actually like shedding without an outbreak like 10 times a year or something like that.
You're just an unlucky Irish kid from Boston.
10, yeah, like
You
10 days a year.
you most likely had unprotected sex with women who had herpes, but you didn't get it.
Yeah,
Most
it's very
likely.
possible. A lot of people have.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. My wife, we've been having unprotected sex for years, but she's never had it. But she could have it, just has never had an outbreak.
It's dormant. It lays dormant.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
a lot of these diseases lay dormant. They sit on your spine.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
syphilis just
exactly.
sits on your spine, and then it just starts climbing up your spine and eating your brain, unprotected,
Yeah.
treated.
right.
Yeah,
That's Brutes McGoots.
that's how people used to. I mean, syphilis. That's what killed Ben Franklin. I mean, syphilis used to kill everybody. It crawls up your spine and eats your brain.
I remember reading that literally the virus like lives in your spine.
That's what it does.
It's
crazy.
crazy that the thing that feels the best, that brings life to the planet, keeps going, is also like comes with all these things that are trying to kill you, and that's the way they get in, and that's the way they reproduce is for
Yeah.
sex.
No, I know it's crazy.
It's fucking nuts. I mean, syphilis is just aimed at killing you.
Yeah.
It used to kill people.
Yeah, now it's medication. They could probably cure herpes too now, but they make a lot of money.
Yeah, well, they just cured like 2 or 3 people full cures of HIV, which is nuts.
But they
Wow.
Yeah.
but that's like that bone marrow thing in Germany. They did that like 15 years ago. They can do it. It's just about if they want to or
yeah.
not.
I would like them to cure.
I don't know who they is, but
silent reflux right now because
Yeah.
is it
ticking up.
burning up right now? It's probably ticking up because you're talking about herpes and it's anxiety inducing.
Doesn't burn. It like flows through the throat. It feels like I have something in my throat. It feels like you have to cough or clear your throat. That's like the main
When I
thing.
had like GERD at the worst, it would always feel like I had like a pill stuck in my throat.
Yeah, that's what this is like
yeah,
too.
and I
It
would
feels
make
like
myself throw up and all that.
it feels like I have a pill or a hair.
I've never met anyone most people probably haven't, who dealt with it as good as Joe did, though. Joe just announced to the comedy community that he had herpes.
That was at the Laker Awards.
At the Chris Laker Awards, Bar 4. He won some award. It was some funny award we did. He just went up. He was like, great year. Comedy's going good. He's like, and also, I got herpes. Good night, everybody.
I thought it was gonna kill, and it didn't. And then there was one girl that I used to fuck, and she was like, "Do I need to go get tested?" I was like, "Oh no, that was a long time ago." But that was also the seeds of my marriage. Because Sarah Talamash, my wife, she was there. And nobody, first of all, I thought it was going to be really funny. I gave a big speech, like I pretended to cry, where I was like, first of all, the award was the Gentleman's Gentleman Award. And it was for shitting in a girl's shoe. It was a rough year.
tell that story
2010 was
next.
a rough summer.
Yeah.
I shit in a girl's shoe and I got herpes on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be funny. I gave a big speech where I was like, I got herpes this year. I have herpes. And I said, thank you, everybody. Good night. And then I walked through, and it was packed. It was a bar, and I had been hanging in the back. So I walked to the back, and everyone just parted. It was like Forrest Gump when he goes home after running. Everyone just slowly parted, and nobody said anything. And it bombed. I thought it was going to be like, it's funny.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Jesus. And then you were like, that was fucking rock and roll.
I mean, can you get more rock? First of all, the Chris Laker Awards only happened once. Therefore, it's probably one of the most rock and roll things of all time.
Of course.
And it was all a joke. It was all funny. We were shitting on award shows. And then it had moments like that where fucking Joe has anyone ever announced to people on fucking stage in front of it, like, hey, guys, I got herpes?
It was...
I mean, that's rock and roll.
And it was the entire comedy community.
Yeah.
I mean, it was everybody. And but then I came in the back, and no one said anything.
Yeah.
And then Sarah was like, I thought that was great. She's like, I think people should be more open about stuff like that, and I think it's great.
Yeah.
So immediately I was like, this chick's got herpes. I know what's going on here. I was like, she must have herpes and wants to fuck. So that was like when I started kind of pursuing Sarah. But then it turned out later she was like, oh no, I was just generally trying to support you. I just thought,
So
whatever.
basically, the herpes in some sort of roundabout way brought her into your life, which is wild.
Yeah, and then I got sober and I'm married and then everything's great.
When's the last time you had an outbreak?
Not that long ago, but again, they're like, it's almost like nothing. You have like a little, maybe a few months ago. Again, it's like a red little spot. You can kind of feel it. You take Valtrex and then it's fucking
fine.
The worst
like
one, the
nothing.
first one's the worst outbreak, is what they say.
Always, yeah. And it went on for weeks.
Right.
Your body adapts to it. When you get herpes, there's probably like websites and places where people with herpes go to date each other.
Yeah.
So there's probably like, if you're a dude who never got a lot of puss, you could probably get into the herpes pool.
Yeah.
And like, because there's a lot of
Well, there's
hot
an
girls.
STD. There's an STD dating site.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
you could probably fuck some hot girls just because they have
easily.
herpes. Because like, hey, we got to keep it in. You know, we all have herpes, so we might as well fuck each other. So now you're dealing with a bunch of chicks who, if they didn't have herpes, may not fuck you.
I just got that guy message me because I get people that reach out and they're like, hey, I got this thing. What do I do? And I'm like, it's fine, man. Like, there's tons of smoke shows because you get herpes from fucking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's people that are fucking. It's not fat, weird nerds.
Right.
It's fucking people
Right.
that get laid get
Yeah.
herpes.
Right.
Yeah.
But I only had to tell one girl. So that after you have to tell people you have
Sure,
it.
of course.
There was two, actually. There was one girl I went out drinking with, and then we were hooking up. We were in her bed making out. And right before I was like, I have herpes. And she went, oh, she's like, that's fucking gross. Like, she shamed me.
Yeah.
Which was frustrating because I'm like, well, you've done all the things it takes to get herpes.
Yeah.
You're just one inconsiderate person away.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you were about to get it.
Yeah.
I just care about people.
Yeah.
So don't act like I'm a fucking piece of shit.
What happened?
Did
You would
push
have
her?
it if
Did
I
you
didn't
push her?
say anything.
Yeah.
Did you push her?
We were already laying in bed, so
Oh,
I just
okay.
kind of...
So what happened? Then she just left?
No, it was her bed. And then I ended up staying there because I was hammered and shit. But I was like, oh, all right. I mean, I was like, it's not that big of a deal. She's like, oh my God. Really, it was quite mean.
Yeah.
And then the other girl, I kind of was like seeing whatever. And we went a couple dates and I was like, I have herpes. And then she had a great line. She said, well, it's not ideal. But
Yeah.
And then we wore a condom and it was fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice girl.
Yeah.
Open-minded girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sarah was very skeptical or reluctant,
Yeah.
it turns out.
Till
But then,
she tested those fucking fuck skills you got.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Once
She
we
was
got
like, it's worth the
involved.
risk. Yeah.
Exactly. Once
Yeah.
you saw this fucking thing, she was
Yeah.
like,
Fuck
damn.
yeah, dude.
But here's the nice thing. As you get older, we're in our 30s now.
yes.
Some of us in our 40s.
All right. As you get older, being nice, a nice guy matters. In your 20s, being a nice guy is shit.
Right.
You got to look like you to get laid.
Right.
I fucked 8 people, and they were all drunk, whatever.
Right.
But then as you get older, the women get older, they're like, hey, this guy's nice to me.
Right.
I'll fuck him.
The fuck him. Yeah.
But nice doesn't matter in your 20s. You
No.
got to have
It's
a good
it's a
look.
good point. It's
You got to have a
very good point.
jawline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's a
don't
good
have
point.
Also, success helps.
You're fucking hot though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd suck your dick.
Do it. Give me herpes.
It's not how you-
Because literally, what would you say was the number one thing that helped you get through COVID and through the pandemic when you were quarantining here in the studio? You told me if I didn't have this one thing, it would be way worse. And what was that thing?
I'm talking to the people out here who need a new mattress or who need a mattress. You go to helix.com and you get the mattress I got because Helix custom makes its mattress for you.
Yeah. So what Yanni Biden meant to say was they custom make the mattress for you. And if you go to helix.com/wild, WILD, they're going to give you up to $200 American off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for the listeners that go to helixsleep.com/wild.
That is helixsleep.com/wild. Are you kidding me? Free pillows?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a free pillow?
Free pillow. All you got to do is take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they're going to match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Yanni, baby, I mean, you were sleeping like a baby in here.
Yo, getting a good night's sleep is the most important thing for how you feel that day.
Yes.
How you interact with people, how you function at work. It's all
Yeah.
true. It is the place where you spend the most consecutive hours. Baby, make sure it's comfy, wumpy. I have a Helix mattress, so we don't promote anything that we don't love. I love my Helix mattress. Go to Helix Mattress.
Helix Mattress.
HelixMattress.com.
Helix Mattress. HelixSleep.com
Cut all that
/wild. So you go to helixsleep.com/wild and you get a mattress, or as Alex called a mattress, and you get one. You take the 2-minute sleep quiz. You get up to $200 off all your mattress orders and 2 free pillows for the listeners. helixsleep.com/wild. Go sleep like a baby.
We just like to give Binky an edit job.
Yeah, it's what it is. You're going to need to sleep for the next 4 years in Biden's presidency. Helix has got you covered.
You get it.
So you decided to quit drinking. So that year for you started with shitting in shoes, ended in herpes.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the
This
shit?
is the year
That
that
wasn't
made,
that far apart,
Yeah,
actually.
this is the year that made Joe List a sober spokesperson for herpes. He's
Yeah.
kind of like a hero in the herpes
That's what made him a
community.
comics comic.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I kept drinking for a while after that. It was a couple more years. I hit bottom and just hung out down there.
I was there for this bottom night. I was actually there, and when I reflect on it and when I tell the story, it's still one of the I'm just glad that I was a part of it. When I'm dying, I might think of it and be like, I'm glad I know that story.
I barely remember you being there. I just was so fucked up. Louis Katz was involved too. He was there.
He
We
was
were playing
there.
beer pong. I
Nate
think.
was there. Nate was
Well,
hammered.
Nate, I remember. Yeah.
Well, let me just start before you got to tell the story to our fans. But let me just start by saying that the part I remember was we were all drinking, hanging out, and he had a flight in the morning to go to Seattle
For a month.
So he's just there, and he keeps saying I gotta go, I got a flight. And him and Nate have been drinking for a long time. So he keeps bringing it up. He's aware, kind of, that he's got to get out of here. But every time I turn around, he's just still there.
Yeah.
Right? Until
Well-
this one point, he goes, I got to go. And he actually says goodbye to everybody. And then like an hour or two goes by. And then I turn around, and he's just back.
That's so funny. Yeah. So there's
Where
an
did you
hour
go?
and a half. I have no idea. There's an hour of my life that's missing. I mean, I could have burned down the projects or fucking.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened. But yeah, and this is all vague, but I don't really remember that, but I said goodbye to everyone, like a big goodbye, hugs, left, and approximately 60 to 90 minutes later, I was back. And I remember Canner, because we were at Canner's bar, and he was like, I thought you left. And I went, I did, and I just walked away. I have no idea. No one knows where I went or
Where
what
was
happened.
the bar? Which bar?
13th Step, ironically,
yeah, I know,
in
yeah.
the East Village. So it started off, I had this thing for a girl that worked at Caroline's. And then we set up like a hang via Facebook message and shit. We were like, we're all going to hang. So we're going to meet at Caroline's at the end of the night. Nate was on that show. I don't know who else. I mean, you were probably on that show. First I did 7A, I think it was. Harrison Greenbaum and Sam Morril used to have a show in the East Village.
Oh, at that I remember that place.
It was
it called 7A?
It wasn't
Or
7A, but it was right
called,
down
like,
there.
The Sage something?
It was something in the East Village.
Yeah, I remember.
So I had a show. They gave you drink tickets. I remember being on stage there at like 8:15 and saying, "Well, I'm drunk," because I hadn't eaten. It was one of those things where I hadn't eaten all day, and I did a couple shots and a couple beers. And I remember being on stage at 8:30, being like, "Woo, I'm fucking hammered."
Right.
And I say that because I drink for another 10. It's 12 hours before I fucking end up shitting in this girl's shoe.
Dude, this was the 20s where remember, like, you just drank, like, you just 4 beers, couple shots. You're like, yeah, I'm doing shows. Now it's like, I don't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. So then we went to Caroline's, and we had a couple drinks there. Then we went to Barcelona Bar, which is like my home bar, which is still there. It's a shot bar where you do the Top Gun. They give you a hat, and they fucking play, and you do a shot.
Yeah.
There's the Full Metal Jacket. They call you a faggot with an army helmet,
Yeah,
whatever. And so I think that was the same night. I kept ordering Golden Girls shots because I loved the song. And eventually the guy was like, I can just play the song. You don't have to keep drinking the shot. I was like, all right,
So
whatever.
how many by this point, first of all, what time is it? We're at Barcelona Bar.
Now at Barcelona Bar, it's probably around 11:30.
How many drinks in shots and beers are you?
I like you.
Give or take.
You're interviewing him like a cop. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me where we are. What time are we talking?
Yeah.
One time years ago, I actually went through, but I probably had like 2 beers, 2 shots at, I thought it was called Bar 4, but that was your show. It was something 4, it was the name of the street.
I remember
one
it.
and one. One and one.
No, it wasn't 1 on 1. It was right around there.
It was by St. Mark's Place. It was called
Fuck.
I'm forgetting the name of it, but
Yeah.
it wasn't Bar 4. You're right.
But it was right over there.
I know, and it's closed now.
But I probably had a couple shots, a few beers there. Then went to Caroline's, did a shot there and a couple beers there. So I'm probably 3 shots, 5 beers in, empty stomach. So I got a buzz going. Then we go to Barcelona Bar, and it's just a shot bar, and I wanted to represent myself as being cool. I knew I had to get up early. I knew I hadn't eaten, and I was already fucked up.
What's early? What time was your flight to Seattle?
maybe 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., something like that. It's going east to west, so it wasn't crazy early.
Yeah, but you had to still be up by 8:30 the latest.
Right.
No, you probably had to be at the airport by 8:39.
Yeah, well, I was going to be by the airport at 9.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's say 8. You should have been up by.
So we go to Barcelona bar. We're there for like a couple hours, and it's a shot bar. So all the drinks we're getting are shots. So I probably do like 5 shots there and beers. Then I'm like, all right, I got to go. But I never got laid. I was never cool. I was going through a breakup. So they wanted to go to another bar. And then I think they're going to meet with Louis. And then I was like, my friend works at 13 Step. We can get free drinks.
I was with Louis, so that's what it was.
So
I
you
was
were with
Louis
Louis
Katz.
I was
not
with Louis.
CK.
No, Louis
Okay.
Katz.
Louis
I was
Katz.
with Louis, and then we met up with you guys.
Yeah, so we're like, let's go to the East Village because my buddy bartends. We can drink for free. That's another thing. You're trying to show off that, like, I know how to get the hookup. I know the cool bar. I know Barcelona bar.
Right.
I know the bartender's there. We're getting free drinks there. Let's go to the East Village. I'll get drinks there. So I'm like, I got to go, but these 2 cute girls want to hang. So we get in the cab. We go all the way down to 13th Step. And now I'm at my friend's bar, and now we're drinking for free. And you guys are playing beer pong. At one point, I remember playing beer pong, and I kept drinking whoever's beer it was. And you had to be like, you stop drinking our beer. We're playing like a game. And everyone like hated me. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm drinking those beers. And then I remember I was sitting at the bar talking to the girl that I was into, and I kept saying, you hate me. That's kind of drunk I was. I was like, you hate me. You fucking hate me. And then she went to the bathroom, and Canner was like, dude, you got to stop saying that. She likes you. That's why she's sitting here talking to you.
Yeah.
He's like, stop saying you hate me. So then as soon as she came back, I went, you love me. You fucking love me. I switched gears on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then at some point, I said goodbye. I was like, I'm out.
I remember that. To everybody, we said
And
goodbye.
what time roughly is he saying goodbye?
It's probably around midnight.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
11, 12, 1, maybe
Okay,
somewhere around
so
there.
you're still well within a time to get home, wake up, be responsible, get on the flight to Seattle.
Maybe, yeah.
It's
So
good
then
enough.
we're back at 13th Step, and now this is where it's like blackout and then pop back in.
Yeah.
I remember the next thing I remember is throwing up outside of an apartment, and then Nate being like, "Are you all right? Like, you ready? Like, we're here." And I remember we were in my neighborhood. Like, those girls lived in my neighborhood. They lived like 2 avenues from my house.
You don't recall the cab at all? Or if it was a train or cab?
Not really. I mean, we took a cab for sure. And so then I do remember this, going to buy Heineken. I went and bought, I was throwing up. And I was like, we got to buy beers. I didn't know how to make a move. I didn't know how to be like, all right, let's start kissing. I was like, let's get some drink. We'll have some more drinks.
Yeah.
Right.
It was I'm a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Right.
So we went in and just bought Heineken. I don't even drink Heineken, but I remember like that's all they had. So I had like a 6-pack of Heineken bottles. Yeah. Then I remember sitting and drinking Heineken on the couch watching TV, and it's like 3:30 in the morning.
Now they're in the girl's house, right?
Yes.
So, yeah,
we're in the house.
It's 3:30 a.m. now.
Yes. Maybe 4. I'm just sitting there drinking a beer, and I remember like kind of nodding in and out. And there's no chance of me fucking or anything. I'm like out of my mind.
Yeah.
And I've already thrown up.
You can't even feel your dick, let alone get it hard.
Yeah,
They want you to leave. They just don't know how to tell you. They're like, this drunk guy's just here.
well, they invited. I mean, they probably want to get laid, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So then I pass out somewhere. I wake up, and this I remember waking up in a girl's bed with no pants on. And no glass. I couldn't find my glasses, but I had to piss so bad. I was like, I'm gonna piss my pants. And I was like,
Right.
I gotta
But you
figure out
don't
where I'm
have
at.
pants
He
on.
doesn't know
No.
where he is or what's going on.
I don't know where I am, but I'm like, I know I have a flight, but first things first, I gotta piss. If I piss in this girl's bed, it's gonna be humiliating.
Yeah.
So I find the bathroom.
Is there anyone there? Is she there still?
No one's home.
No one's home.
So
Just a-
then I start thinking, you start having that shame. I'm like, oh, I must have been such a mess that everyone fled their home.
Yeah.
They
Right.
left their own houses.
It's the morning time now? It's light out?
Dude, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm pissed. I piss for a half hour. And as I'm pissing, I'm like sitting there being like, okay, where are we? How did I get here? I'm looking for my glasses and my shoes. I walk into the living room and the fucking living room table is destroyed. It's been farleyed. And you know that feeling when you're like, that was for sure me. That was
Yeah.
definitely me.
So you fell
Like,
through a glass
no, it was a
table.
wooden table.
Yeah.
And I fell through it like shit was everywhere. The legs were sideways and splintered. It was fucked. And I was like, that definitely was me. There's no way that wasn't me. And that's when I realized everyone's gone. So I'm like, I must have dove through a table and everyone's like, let's go get a hotel room. Like everybody left. So then I traced my steps back. I was like, I got to get out of here. I got to find my shit and go. So then I go back I walk to the kitchen and I see like brown footprints. There's like shit print. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I walk into the bedroom, and there's a big piss stain, like a big circle stain. And I'm like, oh no. And then I look, and she has a high top sneaker with a fucking poo sticking out of it, like a spiky shit. I took a shit in her sneaker, and it didn't all go in there. Some of it was next to it, and then I walked through it. Like there's a mushy shit with like a shoe print in it, and then there's shoe print of shit all over the house. So, and they're gone. I'm like, oh, I'm a piece of shit.
So you must have thought was it in the closet?
No, this is right in the fucking next to the bed in the living room.
You just
on the
thought
bed.
you thought that was the toilet. You thought her shoe was the toilet.
I think I thought I was in the bathroom or so. I don't know.
Well, you must have squatted above her shoe. And
Yeah,
just
I think
shit
I
into it.
squatted down and
Good
took a
fucking
shit.
aim when
Dude,
you're drunk.
I got it right in there.
Okay, so you piss on the wall, you shit in her shoe,
I piss on the carpet.
piss on the carpet.
Tied the
You
room
wake
together.
up, nobody's here. Nobody's
Nobody's
in there. So what happens next?
Can we just appreciate the fact that he shit directly into a high top sneaker?
Well, here's what's crazy. I realized they went to work. But here's the thing that's nuts. They didn't know. So first I text them, and I'm like, I took my sock and grabbed some of the shit and just like took the sock inside out and threw it in the trash. I threw whatever I could in the trash and took the trash out. But there was still like pieces of shit. I couldn't clean it up.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm still fucking hammered.
I was gonna say you're not even hungover. You're still
No,
drunk.
I'm shithouse trying to clean shit, but I also am like, I gotta go catch a flight, and I'm leaving for a month. Like it's a month-long trip. I'm doing the Seattle Comedy Festival. So I haven't like packed. I gotta go home. I call my buddy Derek. He's supposed to be picking me up. I'm like, dude, I don't think I'm gonna make that flight. I just did the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I shit in a girl's house and pissed. And I was like, I'll call you back when I miss my flight. So then I text the girl and I'm like, I want to kill myself. I'm so sorry. I can't even believe what happened. I'm gonna die. I want to kill myself. And she texted back, it wasn't that bad. You were a little crazy, but don't worry about it.
Oh, she hasn't
And I
been home
thought-
yet. Yeah.
I thought these girls fucking party. I was like, these are fucking wild animals. They're like,
Yeah.
they're not even upset. So then I go to the airport. I missed my flight. They put me on the next flight. I call Nate. He's like fucking crying, laughing. He's on
Yeah.
a plane too.
Wait, so did you get a bag? Did you take a bag?
I ran to my house because I was like 2 blocks from my house.
Yeah, yeah.
Ran to my house, threw a bunch of shit in a bag, jumped in the cab, took the cab, and like when I got there, they're like, yeah, the flight's fucking gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I woke up 40 minutes before the flight was taking off.
Right.
I get there, they put me on the next flight, and I'm flying, literally on the plane. I cross my leg, and there's shit all the way up my pant leg. It's just caked, and it's on my shoe, pant leg, because I must have had my jeans on. Shit, got some on the pants, and then took the pants off. So I'm flying cross country in a middle seat because they moved me. It wasn't my original plane. They were just, we'll stick you on this one. So I got a middle seat. I literally put my leg like this, and then just like slowly like put it back
Put it
down.
back down.
Because there's 2 guys on either side of me, and I'm covered in my own feces.
Do you smell like shit at that point?
I didn't notice, but my nose might have been all fucked up. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I've had 75 Jaeger bombs.
Holy shit. Why didn't you take a shower when you went home?
Because I was like, I gotta get to
time.
the airport.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get there.
Yeah.
I still had like hopes of making the flight.
And
So then
then-
what happens when the girls get home?
Did you at least win the contest?
So then, I'll answer both those.
Nice.
So I had to go on airplane mode. It's a 6-hour flight. It's fucking to Seattle. I land, and the show now starts like now. I'm gonna be late for the show. It's night 1 of the contest. I land. My buddy picks me up. I take my phone off airplane mode, and I got a text that says, "Holy fuck, we had no idea how bad it was. What the hell, you piece of shit." And I was like, oh, so here's what's crazy. The shoe shitting took place at like 9:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's not like I did it at 3.
Yeah.
Right.
They had left for work. So I like fell through the table and probably threw up. Then they went to work
Yeah.
while I'm sleeping in her bed, and then came back and their house was covered in human shit and piss. That's when they were like, wait. And I was like, this makes more sense of a reaction.
Yeah.
So then what? So what was there? What happened?
you gave him a couple $100.
I
right?
sent him $300. I called Nate and I was like, is 300 too much? He's like, I don't think there's an amount of money you can send. So I got like a birthday card. I wrote this long apology. I wrote a long, I can have the message. I can pull it up for you if
Yeah,
you
can
want.
you pull it up? Yeah.
It's
please.
fucking really long.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's pull it up.
So I fucking apologized. Then I went straight to the show. Came in first place that night. Had one of the best sets, covered in shit.
Still
went-
drunk by then, or did you sleep
I'm
on
probably
the
a little
flight?
fucked up now. Yeah, I'm probably just hung over. Then I went and showered at my buddy's house.
That must have felt real good.
Yeah, best shower. Unless you've faked dead under a dead guy in war, there's no better shower. That's like the
Yeah.
only shower that would trump it. I was pulling shit out of my leg hair, literally. Like it was stuck in there. I was whipping it out. Let me find the message.
Yeah,
it's
let me go take a
fucking,
piss. Keep going.
it's humiliating.
I
but-
can't believe you did comedy with shit caked on your jeans.
and my actual leg.
After flying cross country and shitting in a girl's shoes.
Have you spoken to these girls since, or is it just no contact?
No, I haven't spoken. Well, I talked to him shortly after. I mean, this is a really long apology. if you
Yeah,
wanna
let's hear it when Chris comes back. But that would be funny, like just running into them, being like, "Hey, so how you been?"
Or even if they like saw him on Netflix?
Because the first thing you would say probably is like, "Hey, I'm sober now."
Well, I ended up seeing. Well, I kept drinking for a couple of years. I almost though. This is what's insane. I almost went on a date with one of them, the one whose actual shoe I shit in.
Yeah.
She was like, first of all, they were like 22. So like, if they had been in their 40s, I would have gone to fucking jail.
Yeah.
They were like still college, like that's crazy. They're living together, first time living together, just got out of school. They're probably like, that was insane, but whatever, it's funny.
It might not even been the first time someone shit in their clothes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wild time. But I'm realizing this. I forgot about this. When I sent the card, it didn't come for a while. My buddy, Derek, he was like, I'll send it for you at work. I'll put it out with the outgoing mail. And it just took forever. So they thought I was like bullshitting. I mean, this is really long if you want to hear it.
No, yeah, I want to hear it.
Please, yeah. I mean, everybody wants to hear it.
It's a nice cherry on
Fans
top
want to
of
hear
the
it. Yeah,
sundae.
we're almost done anyway. Fucking end on this.
Yeah.
Okay, it was election day 2010. So it was, so this is the next day, November 4th, 2010, 4:29 p.m. I have no idea how to start an email like this, or middle and finish an email like this for that matter. I guess I can just start off by telling you that I literally could not be more sorry or utterly embarrassed. I don't expect you to forgive me for my behavior the other night, but I do feel the need to address it. I literally feel there is nothing I could possibly say or do to make it any better, but I'll try. It seems like it should be obvious, but I feel the need to tell you guys that I have never ever been that drunk or completely out of control like that in my entire life. I have been drunk many, many, many times.
But I've never shit in someone's shoes.
in my life, but never anything approaching that. In fact, I've really only heard a couple stories of anyone ever being that fucked up. And never that I could be in the one acting like that in someone's story.
Did you do a follow-up email? Because this was before herpes, right? And then you write, about that previous email. I actually did do some more wild stuff.
Wild stuff.
I've never been more irresponsible in my life. I hope that you won't judge me completely on that night, but I certainly understand if you do. That is not me, but it's possible that will forever be who I am to you guys, which would break my heart, but again, be completely understandable. I behaved in a way that is completely inexplicable and unacceptable. For what it's worth, I don't remember anything at all that happened at your house. The last thing I remember of the night was playing beer pong at 13th Step. After that is completely blacked out. At some point, my brain decided it didn't want to remember what was about to happen.
And also that I needed to take a shit.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fiber that morning. At this point, I completely agree with my brain's sentiment. I don't know how or why I could have possibly done the things I did.
But I had to go really bad, and I was blacked out drunk.
Yeah.
It's literally inconceivable to me. That is completely outside the realm of anything I would ever find myself capable of doing, and have literally spent the past day and a half trying to figure out why or how I could have done such things.
But what I don't understand at this moment is I'm a full-blown Irish kid alcoholic from Boston, and I shit in your shoes.
I know, I should be like, my dad doesn't really speak to me, and I have to... All right, so then I wrote, as I've been trying to recall the evening, I've counted up to at least 12 shots of booze that I took without eating anything, along with probably close to 20 beers.
Yeah.
So there you go, 20 beers, 12 shots, which is such an ungodly amount to drink and clearly resulted in me being completely beyond all self-control. I have no reason or thoughts as to why I would think that was okay. I just really have trouble saying no to shots when I'm drinking like that. And again, exhibited no self-control, and I truly can't apologize enough.
And I'm going to get herpes later this year.
Did you end the
Soon,
email?
I got
Did you end
herpes
the email with
a
"You
month
hate
later.
me"? Do you hate me?
Wait, this goes on for a while longer.
Oh, it's still going?
Yeah. Sorry.
I think you made your letter might have been a little too long.
You're right.
Yeah.
The past 2 days have been horrible, and I literally have not slept at all. I just laid in bed on airplanes trying to figure out what the hell happened, why it happened, and what I can possibly do to make it all better. There's literally nothing I can say, and I'm sure this email is very rambly and annoying, but I feel the need to keep writing it. It's close to the end. I just am truly, truly sorry. I really don't know what else to say or do other than say I'm sorry. I've also mailed a card with some cash in it that I hope will help. For now, I think that's all I can do, as I am in Seattle for the next few weeks. Please understand that this is not who I am as a person. Like I said, I have never done anything like that in my life and never will again. I would give anything to somehow go back and change it, but I can't. I have to live with this sickening feeling and can only hope you guys can somehow forgive me as time passes. I wish I was a better writer or just better at expressing my deepest sorrow to you guys.
But I'm an Irish kid, and it's all pushed down.
This is a legit nightmare. I'm very, very sorry. Which is pretty well written, I thought.
Absolutely.
But yo, you know what's funny about that? It's just an Irish kid just flogging himself.
Flogging.
I'm sorry.
All guilt.
Yeah.
All
if you
guilt.
had a whip, would you have fucking whipped yourself?
I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah.
Oh, so here's the response. Don't beat yourself up about it. We have a pretty good sense of humor. I think we were just completely shocked at first! Exclamation point. Thanks for the money. Chelsea loves her Nikes. Shit happens. I don't know if she meant that to be funny. Shit happens. Everyone does some weird stuff when they black out. Hopefully you won't drink that much again. Haha. Please don't worry about it. Have fun in Seattle.
Wow, that must have been a relief for you.
Yeah.
That was a nice response. Yeah. Oh, this says wave to Beth. I don't want to hit that. That'd be
Oh,
weird.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But I imagine they tell that story a lot.
Yeah.
Imagine they don't. Imagine that was just another night for them.
Maybe.
I mean,
But one
Wow,
of them I
they-
almost hung out with. One of them I
After?
tried. Yeah, the one whose actual show. It was a different girl than the one I was originally pursuing.
Yeah.
She was sweet and funny, and I had tickets to go see Letterman, the taping. And I was like, "Do you want to go?" And she's like, "I'll go to that." And then she ended up having to cancel it. Maybe someone convinced her not to.
well,
Yeah.
here's the lucky part of that night is that you were conscious enough to see it and then remove it. If you had been like, if you had maybe if there was maybe more hope for you to actually catch the plane, and you just darted
Right.
out, and then what they found was a soft serve of shit in their high top.
There was still plenty of shit in there, though.
Was there?
Yeah, because it was caked to the thing. Like they had to go to work all day and come home and like fucking scrape shit off there.
But like all things, man, you handled it real well.
I feel like I did a nice job of that. As I'm reading that, I'm like, that was pretty well written.
You're just an honest, good guy, and you owned it. Like, I feel like I might have tried to deny it and been like, it must have been your dog. And they would have been like, I don't have a dog. I'm like, bullshit, because there's shit on the floor. You saying I shit on your floor?
What's funny is amazing. If a dog did that, you would hit your dog and be like, bad dog.
Yeah.
Stupid dog.
Right.
But
Actually,
I'm a human.
That's the wrong way to correct a dog, but
Well, I didn't know Justin Silver was here.
Wow. Fucking epic.
Yeah.
Joe List.
Yeah.
You're fucking epic. You're just an epic kid.
We had fun.
well, it's been all uphill since then. That was what they call that's what the friends of Bill call rock bottom, right?
Yeah, well, but I kept drinking. In fact, I drank that night. I flew across, and I was like, well, I'm going to drink again eventually. And I had beers that night.
Yeah.
When did the hangover set in, or it never did?
I think that I was so panicked and dealing with everything that, like, I was hungry. I felt like shit all day, for sure.
See, the difference is, not the difference, but something happened to me was the worst drunk I ever got was 2 years ago. I had 10 vodka sodas with my friend, and then I banged a lesbian. Like, and I don't remember.
That was Hyenas.
That was Hyenas.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, much the night.
remember that
But
night.
the hangover I had the next day was so much pain. I was in so much pain and throwing up, and my head and my heart was beating that I haven't. The closest I came, I got kind of drunk at Giannis's wedding last week, kind of, but nowhere near.
Yeah.
Like, because the hangover scared me so much. So it was like, did you just not get hangovers, or they just didn't stop you?
Well, they didn't stop me where I would drink through it, because that's one way to get rid of a hangover, start drinking again. But I found when I eventually did quit, because this was 9 years ago, I quit 6+ years, a little more than 6. So I drank for like another 2.5 years or 2 years.
And we'll get ossified drunk, same thing.
Not as drunk, but I mean, blackout, yeah. But when I hit 30, that's when the hangover started taking me out. Because when you're 25, I would play basketball the next. We'd go play hoop. I'd go for a run.
Right.
But when you start to get like 30, I think all of a sudden you're like, that's like same with like silent reflux. I'd eat pizza and fries. All of a sudden, my body's like, dude, you can't
true.
just eat fries and pizza, you fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
you
It's
fucking
true.
idiot.
I don't even remember having acid reflux or a hangover. I didn't even have hangovers in my 20s. I would like drink all night and then go to work at 8 a.m. and
Like,
feel
not
fine.
sleep at all.
Yeah, no, I'd sleep, but I'd go to work. I'd sleep on 4 or 5 hours after being hammered all night and then go to work.
Right.
Like, you just when you in your 20s, you're just elastic like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You start to stiffen up afterwards.
Yeah.
But that is a legendary story.
I mean-
It's almost worth. It was almost worth it.
I'm sure you've told
Oh,
it
yeah.
1,000 times, and
Yeah.
we've heard it, and it's still as funny like the first time.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I do find as I get older, I'm changing so much. As I get older now, I'm telling it, I'm like, this is sad. This is fucking horrible. Like then I was like, check it out. I shit. Now I'm like, I feel terrible. What
I'm
am I
gonna
doing?
still vote pretty funny.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, just thinking about you waking up and going like, anyone in the bathroom? You're just like knocking out an imaginary
Yeah.
door. Anyone in there? All
It's
right.
funny though that you said
Nice
that because
toilet.
even me, I'm fucking wild. I mean, it's the history, Hyenas. When you were telling the story, it's all 10 out of 10 funny. But I was just thinking, like me, I was like, oh man, I could never be like, I got a kid now. I could never do that. I could never put myself in that situation anymore.
Right.
So I get what you mean because we're both older. So or all three of us are older. So it's like I get what you mean. But it's so the actions are so.
It's
it's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's especially
insane.
it's especially funny because you're sober now.
Right.
Yes. You don't do it
Yeah,
anymore.
that helps,
I
yeah.
think, if you were still drinking, I don't know if we would laugh as much.
Yeah,
We'd be
yeah.
Like, I'll get help, brother.
Well, probably worse stuff would be happening.
Yeah.
Because like drinking progresses,
Yeah.
Of course.
I've been getting worse.
Yeah, Soder and Nate too. They're all nobody drinks anymore. They
Oh.
were both at my
Oh,
wedding.
Nate doesn't drink anymore
no,
either?
No, Nate gave it up. Nate's
Nice.
pretty bad drunk too.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got some stories.
Yeah, he gets wild as well. So
Yeah.
everyone's better off for it. But it's still a 10 out of 10 story.
Oh, fucking 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Nate would drink occasionally. When he drank, he'd get wild.
Yeah.
I was drinking like that almost every night.
yeah.
So you were having 50 beers a week at one point.
Yeah. One time I had I went to the doctor's. I had like an arrhythmia. My heart was fucking beating like crazy. And he was like, "Do you do coke?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Steroids?" I was like, "No." And then he's like, "Well, what do you drink alcohol?" And I was like, "Yeah, I drink Captain and Cokes." And he's like, "Well, how many do you have like in a week or in a night?" And I was like, "I don't know, 10, 12." And he started laughing. He's like, "What?" No. He's like, "What? Like seriously?" And I was like, "No, yeah, seriously. I have like 10 or 12 Captain and Cokes." And he's like, "That's fine." He's like, "The Coke alone will do it. That's what your problem is."
You're right.
He's like, "Just that much Coca-Cola is horrible, let alone
Right.
the rum."
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh fuck." All
So
right.
then you stopped that and no more arrhythmia.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah.
You grew up. I mean, your family was just cracking beers the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my family's all big drinkers. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hard, they still are. My family did no amount of like, "Oh, should we not drink if you're not? Is it weird if you?"
They don't- that
not
didn't
even one
That didn't even click with them.
question. Not even one thought of like, maybe we shouldn't drink if he's not.
Yeah.
Right.
Zero. No one's asked me. No one's been like, "Do you AA? What's it like? How did you do it?"
Yeah.
No mention.
Boston kids like to be miserable a little bit, I think, because when you look at how successful the sports teams have been, you ever talk to a Boston fan, and then they never enjoy it. They always go, "Yeah, but fucking Tommy, he should have figured it out more, and they fucked up in the second quarter."
I feel like New York Yankee fans do that too. I feel like sports fans just do that. We can't be fucking happy.
Well, the games.
But Boston is brutal.
The games themselves, I have no joy. Watching the Super Bowl, AFC Championship, I have no joy during the game because I'm convinced they're going to lose. If they went up 48-0 in the first, I would enjoy that game.
No, that's a specific Boston thing.
I fucking have.
And
Burr said the same thing. I was talking to Burr
They're all
about
like
it.
that. They're all like that.
There's 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. I'm like, this. I hate this. I'm fucking kicking the couch and biting shit. But eventually they win, and then I feel great.
Even the Patriots, you assume they're going to lose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every minute.
With the Patriots, I assume the opposite. It's like, they got the
They're
ball
gonna
back
win.
with a minute.
Oh
they're
yeah,
gonna
I always
win.
think the
They're
Patriots are
gonna
going to win.
Yeah.
I think that also, but it's like you go back and forth. There's a lot of up and
Yeah,
down.
like
and
for
back and
example,
forth.
like a huge Yankee fan. I love Mariano Rivera. Most times when I think of Mariano Rivera, the first thing I think of is when he blew the save against the Diamondbacks, not all the other championships. he
Oh,
won.
I think I meant the Bill Miller, Dave Roberts one. I think about that one.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Game 4.
Oh, game 4.
ALCS.
But the Diamondbacks one was I mean,
Yeah.
we lost the World
Because we were
Series.
supposed
Yeah.
to win that. That was for America.
That was for 9/11.
Yeah.
That was
Well.
for 9/11. So basically,
I
Arizona,
forgot.
Yeah, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Never forget.
It was like a terrorist action, is what they did to
Yeah.
us.
Um,
Are you the type of Boston fan that gets angry when gets happy when the Yankees lose?
No, I'm like in the 90s, I loved those Yankees teams because I'm a baseball guy. I mean, like, I wanted the Red Sox to win, but I loved the way they played. I loved Paul O'Neill and Jeter, and those are fun squads. I enjoy excellence. So, I mean, I hate the Yankees. I hate them more now because it doesn't feel as like organic,
But that makes me trust you. If you didn't, if you like the Yankees and were from Boston, I'd be like, I don't want to be friends with you. I love you because you're a proud sports fan. Just like if I was a Red Sox fan, I don't know that we would get along because I'd be a fucking slivering snake.
That would be
You know what I
weird.
mean?
Yeah,
I'd be a
weird.
slivering little snake. It's like if you're a fan of a team just to be contrarian of some other city, it's like then go move there.
Right.
You just annoy us all.
Yeah, it's always strange to me when I meet people that are fans of teams that aren't the city. I'm like, oh, you just picked like Ari. I always shit on Ari. He's a Yankee fan and a Cowboy fan. I'm like, what?
Well, that's a
You
big
just get
one
to
because they're
pick your
both like
team.
iconic teams, I guess. Yeah, you meet a lot of Cowboys fans in New York, but that's just like America's team thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
full
shitty.
shit.
It's still
It's
weird.
shitty. Oh,
I
of
don't get
course.
it. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
you're
It's
from
shit.
Maryland. You have teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shit. He should be a Ravens fan.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe they weren't around when he was a kid, but whatever the fuck. He could have been a
Redskins,
Skins fan.
somebody.
It is fucking intriguing to think, though, the history of the two rivals, how important they've been to like at least two sports.
Oh yeah.
Like the Giants Patriots ended up somehow they just end up in the Super Bowl together twice, and one of which is a historic season where the Patriots could have fucking went undefeated. And then you have to say, besides the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire steroid fucking just like the bats look like toothpicks, they look like He-Men. Besides that home run race, the Yankees Red Sox rivalry kind of like kept baseball, like brought it back.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, is there a truer rivalry in sports than Boston and
And
the
Yankees,
Red Sox
Red
and the Yankees?
No.
Pro sports, no. Duke, North Carolina,
It's
Alabama,
huge.
Auburn. Those are amazing. To me, Duke Carolina is the best rivalry in all sport, but professional sports, Yankees Red Sox, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Not even close.
I would say
Every game is
Celtics Lakers is probably number 2.
Yeah,
I
the
mean.
old school Celtics Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah, but then they played again in the finals. They've played in the finals in every decade except the 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's wild.
Yeah. I mean when Johnny Damon hit that home run off the foul pole in 2004, that sound is just like still like when it hit, it was just like we got like chill. I'll never forget, I was sitting at O'Neill's Sports Bar in Maspeth, Queens, and we were just, and they're all Mets fans, most of my friends, so they were like, yeah, they wanted the Red Sox to win, but I mean, it was like deject, like I knew it was over.
The Grand Slam?
The Grand Slam, that pretty much ended it. Where like
That was early, yeah. That was the second inning. Kevin
was-
Brown.
you know-
They tried to start Kevin Brown.
Yeah, but I remember like
fucking joke.
that, even though we just knew it's like Yankees are not going to come back. They're going to blow this whole thing.
Yeah. That was amazing. I mean, that 2004 series was the most unbelievable. I mean, it's like a used sports term, unbelievable. It was fucking unbelievable.
It was. I
Because
mean,
they beat them like 23-8 in game 3.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it was going to happen, it was going to happen like that. That's the way it happened for the Cubs, too. It was like a comeback.
Yeah.
Like, to break the curse, you got to do that. It's still worth noting, though, as 2 Yankee fans sitting here, that we got 27 world titles. Boston now has 7. That's wild.
The Sox have won 4 in the last.
Boy, yeah.
Fucking
as
12
of late,
years.
they're better, but you know what I feel like? Like
Holy
I played
fuck.
basketball in college, and I remember I was at the free throw line once playing some school in Massachusetts, and they were like, because it's a New York school, they were like, Derek Jeter sucks. You fucking suck, cock. It's
Yeah.
like a college Division III basketball game. You're yelling at me about Derek Jeter, but this was 2002.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2003. Now I feel like because you guys have won, the Sox fans have won so much, that hatred is still there. But it's like I'm not going to get the shit kicked out of me if I wear a Yankees jersey in Boston because you guys have won. But
Yeah.
10 years ago, it would have been 20 years ago, it would have been a problem.
It's like we're getting laid now.
Exactly.
It's like someone's fucking on the reg now, and you're like, oh, all right, he's fine.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
I was at Game 5 this year. I was at the deciding game. It was fucking amazing.
Really?
At Dodger Stadium. Yeah. It was awesome.
Oh, you had a good fucking time.
Yeah.
you can afford those types of things now. You're fucking crushing it.
I'm sober and I'm doing
Where
all
can
right.
people find you?
ComedianJoeList.com. I have a podcast every Tuesdays with stories, Mark Norman and I, and at Joe List Comedy on Twitter and Instagram. And at Joe List Comedy. Twitter,
Do you have any
Instagram.
pictures of when you had herpes?
Nah, I didn't take any. It looked like that
That'd be a
fucking
nice
Red
thing
Sox
to post
logo.
on your Patreon.
Tuesdays with stories. I did. They had me on as a guest once live.
Probably our best
It
episode,
was
by the way.
so funny, dude. And
They're
these
the
guys,
best.
these guys are both so funny, so quick.
Oh, both of you guys, our 2 best episodes. Moon Tower with you and Bron Bennington.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was you and Nikki, I
Nikki
think.
Glaser,
at
yeah.
Village Underground. Those were literally our 2 best
Oh,
episodes.
sweet.
Yeah. Did you ever release those to public, or you just kept them on
They're
Patreon?
Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to try to fucking get people on our Patreon. Our
Yeah.
Patreon's $3, though, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we have. What do we have? We have 5, 10, and 25.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
got a bunch of tiers.
We got a bunch of fucking tiers.
Yeah. We put a lot of effort into it, and our fans.
Yeah, we
are-
give a lot of content
Our
on
fans
the Patreon.
are great. And
Yeah.
so go follow Joe List. Go listen to the podcast with him and Mark Norman, Tuesdays with Stories. Enjoy this for 4 weeks, you fucking non-toots.
Non-toots.
And if you're listening to this for free, it's a month later. Any of us could be dead. If you're doing a pool, probably Mike Mush is
yeah,
gone.
you're a toot, and you got Joe List gave you herpes. Bye.